everyone. My name is Gingy from Mind Body Wellness Pilates Studio here out in Danville, Virginia. Today's class is a beginner's class, and there are 6 principles to Pilates, but the most important principle is the breath. We use the diaphragmic breath, and we're going to start off with the diaphragmic breath. And just remember, when you're doing Pilates, just be mindful, go slow, and you want to make sure you control your movements, and you center your movements from your core or from your midline, and also create precision in your movements and make sure everything is nice and taut. And again, make sure there's precision, there's coordination with your breath patterns, and then you'll have a nice flow for this class. So we're going to start off first putting your hands around the side of your rib cage. So remember, your rib cage is below your bra line. It's not down on your belly like most people put their hands down here. So you want to feel the bones and the muscles around that rib cage. You're going to inhale through the nose. Feel the side and back of your rib cage expand. And as you exhale, open your mouth and pull the navel back into your spine. Drop the shoulders down. Lift the sternum up. Inhale through the nose. As you exhale through the mouth, feel that knitting sensation as you're closing that rib cage. Inhale again. Exhale through the mouth and go. Give me a couple more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. One more. And exhale. Now continue that breath pattern. Whether you're in Pilates or not, that's a great relieve or distressing breath pattern. So you try to use that breath pattern as much as you can, maybe a few times a day, and you'll notice how you'll start to have awareness with your core, engaging your abdominals, and also the awareness of how you're truly using that diaphragmic breath. Okay, we're going to start off first with bent knees. And you're going to sit on a cushioning mat. As you can see, my mat's a little thick. This is great for lower back or anyone that has a sensitive spine. So from here, we're going to put your hands behind your thighs. You're going to rock back and pull the navel back into your spine. And then come back up. You can separate the knees to lift the sternum up, but drop your shoulders down. Inhale to top, exhale, scoop the belly in. You're going to roll back. Inhale for nothing, exhale, curl up. Stack the spine, sit up tall. Give me a couple more. Exhale, just rocking back, keeping that lower back warm. And then when you come back up, use your postural muscles by squeezing the shoulder blades, lifting the sternum up. And one more. Roll back. And then come back up. Now, from here, you can either straighten your legs, or if you'd like to still keep the knees bent, you're going to scoop again and hollow the belly. You can walk your hands down to start with until you come into neutral spine. You're going to extend your legs and extend your arms out. You're just going to find that nice length in your body. As you can see, I'm collecting my legs. And as you can see, there's an arch in my lower back, and my rib cage is beginning to pop up. So I'm going to exhale, close that rib cage. And then from here, I'm going to slide those heels in. And from here, I'm going to exhale, bring my arms up to 90 degrees. We'll start off here today instead of starting your arms behind you, because there's a tendency to splay that rib cage open. But if you keep your arms at 90, that rib cage will stay knitted. So you inhale here, you're going to soften your sternum. You're going to curl all the way up, looking for your belly button, and then you come back down. Now, if your neck is too sensitive and your neck is doing the work instead of your core, you can just keep that head down. Inhale up again. And exhale. You can curl. Again, make sure you're not curling. If you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, just stay here in neutral spine. And I'm just curling and just trying to warm up the thoracic region and looking for my belly button, finding the core connection. And one more. We don't have to do a whole lot of reps, but we do need to keep precision. Now I'm going to stay here. I'm going to start pumping my arms for hundreds. And exhale. Inhale through the nose. Now if I find that easy, I start to bring one leg up, the other leg up, keeping the knees in line with the hip. I'm still pumping. If I want a little bit of a challenge, I can straighten the legs up towards the ceiling. Now let's stay here for today. Instead of extending legs to 45, that. We just need to start pumping the arms 10 sets. And I believe I'm on my 8th set, so that's 80 counts. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And hold, hold, hold. Bend the knees. Bring the head down and rest. Now my thoracic spine and my entire spine is nice and warmed up. So I'm going to press my palms down. I'm going to imprint my lower back into the mat. So I'm going to do a little posterior tilt. So I'm kind of tucking that pelvis as I exhale. Then I inhale, I release. Just warming up. And again, exhale, a little posterior tilt. Maybe I'm going to lift a little bit more, really sliding that navel back into my spine. And then slowly release. I might have a little arch when I release into an anterior tilt. As I inhale, exhale again, I'm going to tilt, 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 really rocking that pelvis towards me. And then I'm going to release that pelvis down into the mat, having a little arch on my lower back. Now I'm going to come up, but I want you to see the difference. You're going to inhale here. As you exhale, tilt that pelvis, slowly come up. So this is your pelvic lift. Now a lot of the times people want to do this. So you want to build your abdominals in first and then slowly come back down. We do have shoulder bridge, but that's one towards the end when you're able to connect that core. So inhale here again, you want to tilt that pelvis, feel yourself off. Again, lift that pelvis up, find that core connection. You're really pulling the navel back into your spine and then slowly release again to neutral spine. Let's do a couple more of those. Inhale for nothing. Exhale, tuck that pelvis, curl, curl, curl. Tighten up the abs. Inhale at the top. Exhale, come back down. Let's go for 2 more. Inhale here, exhale, tuck that pelvis. Really pull the navel back into your spine as if there's a marble rolling down into your belly button. And then slowly come back down. And one last. As you're rolling that marble into your belly button, you're still closing that rib cage. And then slowly come all the way in. Okay, now that's great for lower back issues, especially if you've got bulging discs, or it's great also for osteoporosis. But if you do have osteoporosis, you just come up and you come back down without articulation of the spine. So from here, we're going to do 1 leg series. But first, we're going to place your hands behind your neck. And again, if you have osteoporosis, eliminate the thoracic flexion. If you have a healthy spine, then bring 1 leg to tabletop. You're going to inhale here and exhale, curl. So this is called our single leg stretch, exhale, curl. But this is a modification. We're just marching, we're going slow. We're trying to maintain pelvic floor stability. As you can see, I'm going slow. And my right leg is able to help me maintain stability. And you could already see me shaking, so that's a very good sign. And rest. That's a great place to start. So whatever number we did on this leg, we'll do the same thing on this other leg. So we inhale here again, exhale, flex that lumbar spine, curl from the abdominals. Make sure you don't hang your neck out here. You curl, bowing down, like rolling like a little ball, pressing or imprinting that lower back into the mat. Let's go for a couple more. Inhale here, exhale, curl. And 1 last. Exhale, curl. Now this is a good beginner for a single leg stretch. As you progress, you can start lifting 1 leg and extending 1 leg at the other. But for today, because this is more like a beginner series, for someone that's never done Pilates before, or with somebody with lower back issue or osteoporosis, this is a great way to start. Now, from here, we're gonna bring both legs to tabletop. Now, most of the time, when people extend their legs out, there's an arch in the lower back, and then they lose that stability. Sometimes they drop their legs down, and there's a big arch. So you wanna make sure, as you're a beginner, when you inhale, extend the legs out, and then you exhale, you curl. Now, for the double leg stretch, you can start to include your arms, both legs straight, and then curl. You want to avoid bringing your arms behind your head first until you're able to core connect. So again, this particular series is beginner friendly for somebody that's never done Pilates before, or or somebody that really has lower back issue and try to be mindful of their movement. And again, as you notice, my repetition is not a whole lot. I'm only going to go for 6 counts and exhale 6, and then I bring the knees in. I'm going to rest my head down. This is a good time to do knee circles. Knee circles are fundamental movement in Pilates. So we're moving the top of your thighs around your hip socket. So you're doing little circles. If you pull the knees away from each other and bring the knees together, you're going to feel your lower abs. It's almost like drawing a heart between your legs with your knees, and then we reverse that circle. As you notice, I'm going very slow because Pilates is all about being mindful, being purposeful. It's not about repetition. It's not about doing a race, but it's about feeling the connection, your mind, your body connecting with the movement, with the breath. And also you're using the frontal lobe of your brain, so you're really paying attention. It's almost like you're doing your crossword puzzle. So from here, I'm going to press my arms by my side. I'm going to do a few leg slides. So I'm going to reach my heel away. So I really want to stretch my leg. So if you haven't heard about restless leg syndrome, this is a really good way to release some of that tension at night when your legs start to shake or move. And this is a good exercise for that. It's a good exercise to find that core connection. As you're extending the leg out, you exhale. And you inhale first and exhale. Use your abs to pull the leg in. One more, as you notice again, we're not doing so much repetitions. And then come back in. But you could actually, we're doing a lot more precision in the movement. So we're going to do 4 counts on this leg as we did 4 on the left side. Let's do 4 on the right. Then exhale. As you extend out, find that core connection. Don't just move it in and out. When you extend all the way out, really find that abdominal core connection, the pelvic floor. You can actually feel your core connecting to the movement of your leg. And one more, exhale. And then come to center and rest. Now, I'm going to bring my knees towards my chest. Now, if you have osteoporosis, you want to skip this series. This is called rolling like a ball. For beginners, you just put your hands on top of your shin. If you don't have that flexibility, you can put your hands right up below your knees, but make sure you really compact yourself. You're going to nod your forehead towards your knees, and we're going to roll up and see if you can balance on your sits bones. So you exhale, curl, balance on your sits bones. Exhale, curl. As you notice, when I roll back, I'm not rolling on my neck. Maybe now I'm going to balance on my sits bones. I'm going to rock back again. Balance on your sits bones, and one last. And come all the way down. Let's go ahead and come to your side. And let's do some side series that's doable for everyone. And I love this particular series because it's pretty good. This is what most PT would give their clients that have lower back issue, and this is called a clamp. I suggest to put one hand on that hip bone. So you want to put it on your hip. You just don't want to rest it on your waist or your buttocks. You want to hold that hip bone to keep you stable. So shoulder stack, hip stack. Pull that rib cage up. So now you have a mouse house. You can slide your hand underneath so your abdominals are still working. We're going to turn that knee up towards the ceiling, and we're going to close that leg. As I'm opening and closing that leg, again, I feel that pelvic floor working. I'm feeling my glute, my outer thigh, and my inner thigh as I come in. As you can see, I'm taking my time to move. I'm being very mindful. I want to feel the connection, the core connection, the movement of the leg, the breath. And let's go for another 4. So we can do 10 counts because these are larger muscles. For 3, 2, and 1. And come down for a second and rest. Now we're going to extend that leg out. So from here, you want to make sure you're tipping that hip forward. We're just going to stretch that hamstring forward. So it depends on your flexibility, but you want to keep that knee in line with your hip. And when you extend that leg back, you want to maintain that hip stack and just stretch that hip flexor as you work the glutes. You want to avoid doing this or hyper stretching. A lot of the times I see people in class that love to hyper stretch, and then they lose their core connection. Again, pelvic floor stability is so important. Shoulder, pelvis, stabilizing them is so important. And again, kick forward. And it's a bonus if you're able to stabilize and then really find that range of motion while maintaining that pelvic floor stability. That is such a bonus. And let's go for another 6, 7, 8, 9. One more, make sure you breathe. Inhale forward, exhale back. Now you will see that I'm gonna slide one leg forward. So as I'm sliding one leg forward, I have some flexibility, so I can slide it all the way. If you don't have any flexibility, you can either keep it in line with your hip, or when you slide that leg forward, you can slightly bend that knee. That's gonna still feel good. Now just be mindful, we're gonna go for a nice rotation. So you're gonna rotate towards the ceiling. Just be mindful again. And now I'm trying to imprint my upper back onto that mat. Just be very mindful. This is for healthy spine. And again, if you have osteoporosis or pregnant, avoid this rotation. This is quite intense. So now I'm getting a pec stretch, a QL stretch, a nice spinal stretch, an IT stretch, and then I come back all the way. To come out, I push one hand on the mat, and we're gonna go to the other side. I'm gonna do the same thing. First, we're gonna do the clown series. Again, I'm resting my head on my hand. You can always get a pillow. And before I start off, I wanna always make sure my form is good. Just don't jump into the exercise without checking your form. So again, hand underneath your rib cage. I have a mouse house. Other hand, I'm holding my hip to bone to keep me stable. I'm gonna open that leg and close. Oops, snack, crackle, pop. 2, I'm in control. I can feel a lot of lower ab work because I'm going slow and I'm being mindful with my movement. And if you can see, I am shaking, so that is a good sign. And again, I'm using all that muscle for another 5, 6, 7. Again, really lift that rib cage up. 8, 9. One more, and 10. Now from here, we're gonna fully extend that leg. Make sure that hip doesn't pop open towards the ceiling. Keep that hip stacked. So hold on to that hip bone. Kick that leg forward. Inhale, inhale, exhale. See, I'm not just throwing my legs back. I'm really controlling the movements. I want a hamstring stretch. I want my hip flexor to stretch, but I'm still working on my glute and my hamstring. I'm controlling the movement. I'm still feeling my lower abs doing all the work for 4. And since these are larger muscles, the legs, we're just gonna go all the way to 10. Let's go, we're halfway there. Let's go for another 5, 4, breathe, 3, 2, and 1 more. Okay. Now again, we're gonna stretch that leg. Just be mindful, if you cannot keep it straight, soften that knee. Extend, you'll feel a nice hamstring stretch. And again, as slow as you can, just go to wherein you can rotate that spine. Can't emphasize this enough. Only do this if you have a healthy spine and print your shoulders down. Again, if you have osteoporosis or are pregnant, stay away from this stretch for the moment. I can feel my spine adjusting. I'm feeling a little shifting, so that really feels so good. Now we're gonna bring the knees together and we're gonna push off. Okay, so if you can't sit like a mermaid or on the floor, you can always use a chair. I'm going to what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna crisscross applesauce my legs for our series. Normally I like doing this standing up, but we're gonna do a little ballerina series. I'm only using 2 pounds, and you can stay seated or you can kneel. If you have knee issues, don't kneel, or you can stand. So for today, I'm gonna sit Japanese style so you can actually see my form. So from here, We're gonna start off with percent and we're gonna extend. We're gonna go for 10, but for today we'll start with 8 because it's gonna get really heavy when you're doing ballerina arm series. We've got another 4, 5, 6, 7, one more, and 8. Now from here, I'm gonna face, make sure that wrists, elbows, shoulders are all in alignment. So when I come up, everything is in alignment. So when I come up, I'm gonna squeeze my shoulder blades. It stays away from my scalenes or my shoulders. I'm really trying to work my rhomboids, but I'm still aware of knitting my rib cage. And again, for today, it's 8 counts. If you can do 10, great. I'm only using 2 counts. This gets very heavy with the reps that we have. And one more. Now we're gonna stay here. As you can see, I'm gonna come into a gold pose, keeping that nice alignment. I'm squeezing my shoulder back, my shoulder blades back, my rhomboids, so it stays out of my neck and my shoulders. I'm feeling all the work between my shoulder blades. I'm really squeezing those shoulder blades, but I'm still maintaining that knitted rib cage. And last 2. And 1. Now gold pose, arms in alignment, and we open again. Squeeze the shoulder blades for 8 counts. Make sure you breathe. Again, it doesn't matter when you inhale or exhale, just as long as you're exhaling, that's the most important. We're halfway there for the main. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now from here, I'm gonna pitch forward. I'm gonna shave off my hair. If you can't shave off your hair, you can salute. Weights go in front. If you can shave off your hair, weights are gonna be slightly above your head. Now my back muscles, my lats, my rhomboids, my serratus, the muscles underneath your armpits, they're all beginning to warm up. So we're gonna finish in a bit. And one more. Okay, and rest. So that's a few of your ballerina arm series. Again, this is not a long workout, it's just a mini workout. So from here, let's go for a nice little stretch. So we're gonna sit like a mermaid. Normally you want your knees, your foot not to be underneath one thigh. You wanna make sure one foot's resting against the other thigh. Let's bring your arms to a T. As I reach my arms down, I'm gonna keep that shoulder away from my ear, maybe drop the elbow down. And this is a good time to stretch. I'm gonna do a little back stroke, looking up towards the ceiling for 3, 2, and 1. And then I reverse my stretch. Now, if you want to change that stretch, you can extend the top leg out and then shift your weight forward on that knee. This time I'm gonna look down on my hand. I'm gonna swing my arms forward for 3. Just a nice little stretch for my pecs, for my back muscle to mobilize my shoulders. And when I come down, I'm going to counter stretch. We'll swing the legs over to the other side. Okay. And again, arms to T, bring that arm away. You can rest that elbow down if you have that flexibility. You want to really anchor your right sit bones down or your left sit bones down. I'm looking up towards the ceiling, so I'm going to do a little back stroke. And I'm going very slow because I really want to enjoy the stretch, and I want to create, again, range of motion without hurting my shoulders, my deltoids, or my rotators. And then I counter stretch. As you can see, every time I counter stretch, I'm still active. I'm just not collapsing. I'm still lengthening my spine and my torso, creating space for my internal organs. Now we're gonna land that left hand down or right hand down. Extend that left leg out, or whichever leg, opposite leg. We're gonna shift. Now we're gonna look down on that hand and we're gonna swing that arm forward. And again, I'm going slow, feeling that big stretch right around my rib cage, my side lats, my armpit, all the muscles that I've worked. And then I slowly come all the way down. And that concludes our workout for today. I thank you for checking in. Again, if you're not able to make it to class at Mind Body Wellness Pilates Studio, just check out our YouTube channel and you can subscribe. Thanks a lot. Bye.